guys, welcome to the channel. I hope everybody is doing okay and having a good day. Today I'm bringing you something a little bit different to my normal videos, and today I am going to be showing you how you can make a card using your cross stitching. Now this is something that I've been doing for quite a few years and it's something I really thoroughly enjoy. I much prefer to make my own cards than buy them from the shop. So that's what I'm going to be showing you today, and hopefully you enjoy this video. So to make the card I'm going to be using the following materials and equipment shown here, and here is my cross stitch which I made earlier this week and I'm going to be using on the birthday card. It's quite a simple design and didn't take too long to make. It was quite an enjoyable one to do, so yeah, I think this is going to look quite cute on a card. Going through the materials, I'm going to be using this white card which I bought in a pack which came with the envelope as standard. Now you can get these in many different colours, but for this card I am going to be layering it with another card, so that's why I've chosen to go for the white card. As there is no writing on my cross stitching, I'm going to be using these pre-cut dies which I bought from a craft shop years ago. I really like using die cuts on my cards, but this is an option. You don't have to use die cuts, you can just use your cross stitching, it's whatever you prefer. Following on from the die cuts, I'm going to be using these foam sticky pads for the die cut. I quite like using these as it does bring a bit of texture to the cards, but you can also just use sticky double-sided sticky tape if you don't have these foam sticky pads. As mentioned, I'm going to be layering some patterned card onto the plain card, and to give it a bit more of an effective edge I'm going to be using these curly scissors, and I'm also going to be using standard scissors as well, which isn't here, but yeah, that's another thing, using standard scissors. Then we have a standard pen and ruler. You can use pencil if you prefer. This was just the easiest thing to grab, and then we have double-sided sticky tape. Moving on to the flower pattern card book, I picked this up from the Works a while back, but you can get them in many different places. What I like about this one is it's actually double-sided, so there's lots of patterns in this book, and I find layering cards with a pattern can really help bring out the centre piece, which in this case is obviously the flower that I have made, and it's why I have selected the white card. Then lastly, I'm going to be using the guillotine to cut the patterned card, but if you don't have one of these then you can just use scissors. So the most exciting step I think in making this card is actually choosing the pattern. There are so many patterns to choose from. I really struggled to pick which one. I went through them and put the cross stitching on top of each one and decided which one I preferred. There was quite a few that I really liked, and in the end I actually asked my husband which one he preferred because I was stuck between two, and sometimes that is just the way it is. Sometimes you need a second opinion, and yeah, so in the end I went for this really nice multicoloured flower arrangement. I really felt like it really popped the flower, and so that's the one that I went for. Once I had chosen the pattern, I then marked out the size of the card I needed using the white card as a template. Now if you don't have a guillotine, I would suggest that you use the ruler and the pen or pencil to mark the cutting line, and then that would create an easier straight line for you to follow, but as I'm using a guillotine I don't need to do this step. Once the pattern card has been cut, I'm now going to take the special effect scissors and I'm going to create the effect on all four edges. Using the double-sided sticky tape, I'm now going to place 4 strips of the double-sided sticky tape on the back of the pattern card and then going to place that down on the white card. In this next clip you see me creating like a frayed edge look, as I think this is actually prettier than a clean cut. However, the material I find to be too big later on in the process, and sometimes with card making you do have to make adjustments as you go to get that perfect look. To achieve this look, all you need to do is find a strand or a few strands depending on how frayed you want the edge and pull it down, and eventually it will come out of the material and you'll be left with the frayed edge. So before sticking anything down, I just like to check that everything is going to fit correctly and that everything is going to be in place where I want it to be. Once I'm happy that everything is going to fit nicely on the card, I then start to stick things down, starting with the die cut. I'd like to get this centralised, and then I add the sticky taped foam pieces. Now again, if you don't have these foam pieces, then just use double-sided sticky tape, but I do think that the foam pieces are a good thing to get into your craft selection, as it does make things pop off the card and make things seem a bit more 3D. To secure my cross-stitch flower in the centre of the card, I use the double-sided sticky tape, adding 1 strip to each corner of the cross-stitching material, and then once it's all in place, I then peel away the top layer, creating the sticky side, and then add that onto the card, making sure it's all centralised. Now that everything is in place, let's take a look at the final design. So there we have it, a really simple but effective birthday card. Now you can create many different cards for different occasions using your cross-stitching designs and making them your own. I hope you've enjoyed this video. Please give it a like if you've liked it, and subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hopefully I will see you in the next one.